What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Damon's 3D Prints. I'm Damon, where I talk about all my 3D printing projects and hopefully help you along the way. I know you guys seen that thumbnail. That's right, we got another Batman grapple gun. This time, it's from Batman Begins / The Dark Knight Trilogy. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video and let me show you how I created this Batman Begins grapple gun. So I grabbed the files from Maker World. If you guys haven't had a chance to check them out, I would really recommend it. They got a lot of cool stuff over there. After I download the files, I wind up getting them sliced up and I printed them in my Century Carbon by Elegoo. This model has the option to print it in separate pieces or print it all at once. So for my first attempt, I wound up printing it by the piece. Unfortunately, it did not come out good at all. Here's what messed up at. This back piece right here. I guess I didn't have the supports all the way up. I didn't stop there. I kept going and tried reprinting it again. This time, I added more supports on the back. This is how far it made it. This piece right here is just very, very loose. So it didn't print all the way. But then I remember watching a video from Frankly Built, and he suggests that if you just throw all the pieces in your slicer, it should automatically just fit together. So that's what I did. So once I did that, it wound up coming out pretty good. So yeah, I do not recommend doing this way. Just throw all the files in your slicer and it's gonna come out all together. And go ahead and print it like that. So once I removed the supports, I easily noticed that I probably could have added more supports around the barrel of the gun. This area right here. But I thought I can clean that up later on. So for sanding, I started off with 80 grit. I will tell you right now that this piece has a lot of sanding. It's just a very detailed piece. And this grapple gun has a lot of tiny places that it's hard to get to. So after I sanded it with 80 grit sandpaper, I went ahead and moved on with Phillip primer. I gave the front and back 2 coats. From there, I moved on to spot putty. I was being very generous with the spot putty. It's just a lot of filling that I had to do with this print. From there, I moved on to some wood filler. I used a technique from Universe of Emily where you combine wood filler and water and create a nice paste. This time, this paste came out very thin, so I wound up doing multiple coats. It was a lot of filling that I tried to do with this gun. From there, I wound up sanding the grapple gun with 220 grit sandpaper. And yes, it did take me a while to sand this gun really smooth. After 220 grit sanding paper, I wind up going back in with some Phillip primer. Again, I used 2 coats here as well. After you hit it with 220 grit sandpaper and Phillip primer, if it's still not smoothed out, go ahead and wash, rinse, and repeat. Add spot putty, wood filler, and then go back and sand again. I know for this gun, once I took off the supports, it was a lot of sanding and filling that I had to do, especially underneath the gun. So after the Phillip primer, I wind up doing one of the hardest parts in my opinion, taping off for paint. I don't know what it is, but taping off, I'm just not that good at it. But I still try my best. So once the taping's done, now I had to figure out what kind of paint I was gonna use. So I have 2 pictures where I found like a model this gun after. The first one is from Batman Begins where he first got the gun. The second picture is from The Dark Knight. From Batman Begins, you can tell it's more of a copper, kind of old-fashioned kind of feel. For the one in The Dark Knight, you can tell it's a little bit kind of gold, so I wasn't really sure what to do right here. I did want to create the grapple gun from Batman Begins, so I decided to go that way. So the closest spray paint that I found was this Hammer Copper spray paint. So this spray paint comes out in a little bit of a texture. It's not a clean finish, but I did like the color, so I continued to move on. I did very light coats and multiple coats, front and back. I gave it about a day so the paint can dry. From there, I wound up taping off the copper pieces so I can go in with a matte black. Again, taping for me is one of the hardest parts about 3D printing. So I gave the black spray paint a couple light coats, both front and back. And I also gave it another day to dry. Once the paint's dry, now it's time to go in for the finer details. So I grabbed this metallic acrylic paint and a paintbrush. But then I soon realized that it's a lot harder with the paintbrush. So I wound up switching to a squeeze bottle. Definitely much easier with a squeeze bottle. For the areas that I didn't tape off pretty well, I wound up using that same black just to outline the areas that were still showing a little bit of that primer. So once I was happy with all the finer detail that I wanted to paint, this gun is done. This came out pretty good. I still got some light areas around the trigger of the gun, but other than that, I'm pretty much happy with it. I think this is good enough to add to the collection. Hopefully, I won't stop there. If you made it this far in the video, I want to say thanks for watching, and if you like this build, follow for more.